G'day Gooners and welcome back to the podcast. What a week it's been. A win against Spurs, a win against Bayern Munich, and of course, Chelsea up next. George, how are you feeling about this?
I was just saying to you off camera, like it potentially, if we go and get 3 points against Chelsea, will be one of the best weeks we've had as Arsenal fans, probably for 20 plus years, which is unbelievable, really. I mean, maybe going back to the Invincibles time, there could have been a week where we had two massive results or three massive results, but it doesn't feel as substantial as potentially getting 9 points out of nine from these last three games. So yeah, no, I'm doing really well. Feeling refreshed and ready to go again for the next week. And for tomorrow morning, it's going to be a 3:30 a.m. kickoff again. For some
Killer me.
reason, but yeah, the fixtures just love having us as the important game. So in the UK, it will be a 4:30 kickoff on a Sunday afternoon. So for us here in Australia, that is a 3:30 a.m. wake up. But yeah, no, I'm feeling very good. Performance and result against Bayern was top.
Incredible.
Uh, yeah, really, really good. We beat them at the Emirates 3-1 for those of you who have been living under a rock. And yeah, I guess we're going to break it down now, aren't we?
Yeah. So just going into the game, obviously, I feel like in hindsight, the 3-1 win, it felt really comfortable in the end, didn't it? Especially that second half. But the first half had me very worried. How do you think that game went overall? And what do you think of that first half compared to the second half, especially?
Well, it looked like two different teams, to be honest with you. First half, I thought Bayern were very on it. Like they controlled the ball, they controlled the tempo of the game really well. You sort of just saw how good of a team they really are in the way they build up, in the combinations they use, in the pockets. Elise out on the right hand side is probably the only one who's very very fixed in his position. He doesn't really move away from that touch line, but he's just a seriously good player, one of the best in the world in his position for sure. Gave Miles quite a hard time,
Mm.
but they have such talented players. I mean, we could literally list 1 to 11, and they're all just really good. I mean, 1 to 15, 16, they've got a good squad as well. So that first half, yeah, it was slightly concerning, but at the same time, I did think that we approached the game considering the first 10 minutes and considering their dominance probably in the right way. I thought the way that we pressed them, we tried to stop them from playing central, and we were mostly successful. I know we'll get a picture up on screen probably at this time as well to show that. I think also the way that we built up was quite interesting for me. It was not necessarily so different to how we usually build up, but there were certain tweaks in there. Again, we have a few pictures to depict what was going on, but long story short, Zubimendi and Rice were sort of filling in as centre backs, and Marino was coming in off the number nine position, and he was sort of filling in as a midfielder. So
Oh.
there was a lot going on. Obviously, we sort of, I guess, struck first. I feel like we speak about set pieces
It's been a while,
almost
to be fair,
every.
though.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, yeah, we had in November in the Premier League, we scored the most goals from open play. So
Yeah.
that sort of dispels any narrative that the media want to convey when it comes to us. But yeah, great delivery, Saka delivery, and Yuri and
Timber.
Timber. Yuri and Timber, one of the best right backs in the world at the moment. I
Yeah.
think we probably have him alongside Reece James, who I'm sure we'll talk about later down the
Yeah.
line, and Hakimi as well of PSG. Those three at the top of my head are probably the three best in the world at the moment. But what a great header, and great time to go ahead after 22 minutes.
I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Even when we're not playing that well, to be able to just have that in our arsenal, pun intended, to score from a corner, it's
Yeah.
so helpful for us. Like it was probably the first time in a long time, maybe since the City game when we went down to 10 men, that the other team came to the Emirates and just dominated the ball. Like Bayern had a
Yeah.
lot more of the ball in that first half. And I mean, to just break the deadlock like that. And obviously, when Gabriel got injured, I was worried that, oh, are we still going to score as many corners? Because he's such like, even when he doesn't even touch the ball, he always just, he influences the corners in any sort of way. So for Timber to step up, it was a great goal. And
Well,
that
well,
obviously,
just to touch on that further,
yeah,
Cal, like I agree with you. Like he is definitely our best aerial threat when it comes to Gabriel. But like
It's not our only
Timber
threat.
scored
Yeah,
goals from
yeah,
headers. Like Marino, obviously, Havertz when he's fit, Calafiori, Saliba, Gyökeres even.
yeah,
We've got so many players who can score goals from set pieces that Gabriel not being fit, like it, obviously in terms of the rest of what he does is frustrating. But you know, I still think that we're a threat. Is the point I'm trying to make?
yeah. Yeah, of course. It seems like Arteta's sort of built. I've said it before, but Arteta in recent, especially recent years, has kind of shifted his focus, especially for defenders, for big, strong players like Calafiori, Mosquera. I mean, Hincapié not as tall, but strong, aggressive. Which I actually just want to touch on Hincapié real quick because I was really surprised that he didn't come in. I know Mosquera is a quality player, and I did not complain at all when I saw him on the team sheet, but.
Yeah.
Hincapié on that left-hand side, I mean, he's just won against Spurs 4-1, didn't put a foot wrong. I I don't know. I don't understand what that decision was. Maybe it was rotation for the weekend, but
Yeah.
I mean, either way, it
Yeah.
worked out, so can't really complain about that. But it was definitely surprising.
Yeah, I think Arteta touched on it in his post match, and he was sort of talking about how Hincapié had been on international duty with Ecuador, and he like flew late and then
Oh,
played the
okay.
Spurs game, and I think he was just a bit tired
Yeah,
from that's sort of what I gathered from what Arteta was saying. So I think it was just rotation.
yeah,
It definitely wouldn't surprise me if Hincapié came back in for the game tomorrow morning.
yeah. I probably would start him to be honest. I know Mosquera did great, but that's just again, I know we speak about it every single week, but that's just the luxury of this squad. Like players can just come in and out and it doesn't really impact the game. But although in saying that, I do think Lewis Skelly coming in for Calafiori was quite poor today. I was calling for him to start because I think in the Champions League this season and Carabao Cup games like that, he's been exceptional, but he just had an off game today. Do you think that was sort of him playing poor, or do you think it was just him being up against one of the best swingers in the world?
Yeah, I used to sort of feel the same thing with Zinchenko. And listen, Miles is a much better 1v1 defender than Zinchenko was. But a lot of the time, Zinchenko will get criticized because he got beat by Salah, who
Yeah,
is at the time the best winger in the world. I think if you stick most fullbacks against the best wingers in the world, most of the time they'll get beat because they're the best wingers in the world for a reason. Um, and Miles is no different, and he's also 18 or 19. You
yeah,
know, he's a young kid, so you can't expect him necessarily to pocket someone like Elise,
yeah,
who has had an outstanding season so far and is one of the best wingers in the world, undoubtedly. So yeah, no, my qualms are definitely not with Miles. I think it was important for him to get the run out and to get
yeah,
60 odd minutes in his belt. So under his belt even. So yeah, no problems with Miles. He'll get game time. It's also probably a little bit of rustiness because he hasn't
yeah.
had
Of
that rhythm
course.
that he had last season. You know, it's difficult. It's difficult. And myself and you have both played in teams where, you know, maybe not myself necessarily sometimes at uni or whatever, where you're not getting every minute of every game. And when you come on, it's very difficult to impact games. It's not easy.
Yeah,
Or when you get a start every now and then, every 3 games, it's very difficult to build that momentum unless you have the rhythm of playing consistently. So, um, yeah, no qualms with Miles. No qualms with Miles, but I was very, very excited when we went 1-0 up because I thought it
yeah,
came a little bit against the run of play, if I'm honest
yeah.
with you.
Those are the best sort of goals as well. It's like we've said it before. That is like the sign of a champion when you're not playing good to be able to just scrape a goal from any sort of position, even when you're playing bad. I don't think we played particularly well in that first half, but obviously it didn't last for too long because 10 minutes later on that side of Miles, Nabry and Elisa actually swapped sides for that goal. And I thought that original ball, I believe it was from, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it was from Kimmich that did the
Yeah,
original
it
ball.
was.
Yeah. As soon
Yeah,
as I saw that ball go over, I was like, something's going to happen here. It was a brilliant
yeah.
ball. Nabry, obviously ex-Arsenal player, crossed it in into 17-year-old, I believe. Cole,
Yeah.
honestly, I've never heard of him before, but brilliant. He took it really well. And yeah, 1-1. How were you feeling when that goal went in? I was like, oh no, this is going to be tough
I had
again.
this. I sort of had the same reaction as you as soon as that ball, which was a brilliant one,
Yeah.
played over the top of Miles's head into Nabry from Kimmich, and it was a great ball, top ball, inch perfect. Not much you can do. The pass from Nabry was also class, and yeah, Carla, I do know a little bit about. He's actually
Yep.
been in and around the first team for over a year now. So he's been in the first team since he was 16.
Oh well.
But like for someone like a 17-year-old, not only to be in and around the squad, but to actually be starting games
Yeah.
consistently, which he has done for Bayern this season, it's incredible. And he is such a me type player. I love that type of player. Left-footed, number 10, takes the ball on the back foot, quite small in stature, but very, very skillful, sees the game very quickly. He scored a great goal in their Champions League game, I think the last round, which was his first start, I believe. Just sort of took it on the right-hand side, on the back foot, and hit the ball straight into the top corner. So he is a seriously good player, and probably the best 17-year-old in the world at the moment. How old is Lamine Yamal? He's 17 as well.
I think he's 17. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe the second best, but yeah, what a player and a great finish as well. Nothing that Rye could have done.
Yeah, it was brilliant. He really picked up that sort of number 9 position as well for that
Yeah,
goal. And I mean, just talking about that goal for a second, I thought he was the number 9, but obviously Harry Kane played. I completely forgot he even played, to be honest. We're recording this a few days after the game. He
yeah,
was really quiet, which is weird because Harry Kane is a player that, when he was at Spurs, always seemed to just bag a goal against us. So for us to just shut him out, I think that just probably shows in a way that our defense just is stronger than previous seasons. Would you say?
yeah, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. I also think that like he was dropping very deep, Harry Kane, like
Yeah.
he likes to do. He likes to do it. Him and Carl were sort of finding those pockets and were receiving the ball. I think something that I did also notice was that Saliba was following Kane. And even if when Bayern were building out from the back, like Kane would come really, really deep, so would Saliba. Saliba would join him and not let him have a sniff. And I thought the way that him and Mosquera sort of managed the Kane situation was really, really good. And yeah, Kane's one of the best in the world, probably the best in the world, in my opinion, all round strikers. He's probably the best, him and Haaland. But
Yep.
yeah, we really nullified the threat when it came to Harry Kane, which is yeah, testament to the way that we defend. And we've been saying it all season. We really are like the real deal in terms of up there with the elites in Europe at the moment,
Yep.
especially in terms of like recency bias. Like we have been absolutely outstanding this season. And yeah, I think that people are starting to take us a bit more seriously now, which
Yeah.
is also interesting.
Yeah. Obviously, after the goal, a few minutes later, Trossard goes down injured. I was really upset by that, to be honest, because he's obviously we speak about him. I mean, it feels like in the last month we've spoken about him a lot, and just
Yeah.
how good he's been, how consistent he's been just for Arsenal, his whole Arsenal career. So when he went down, I was really disappointed in that because obviously he's had a good few weeks, but I wasn't too worried though because I knew that Madueke would come on or like a Martinelli would come on. So we've just got the depth again. I know we talk about it all the time, but the depth. So yeah, and an update on that. I was seeing on Instagram that he could be out for a couple of weeks, but he might be back for the Chelsea game. Can't see that happening though. But I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Do you reckon he'll be
Well, I
back?
think I think something that you didn't mention there, Cal, was not just how good he's been for us, but how available he's been. He hasn't missed a game for
Yeah,
Arsenal.
true. Yeah.
He hasn't missed a game for Arsenal, and I think the last game that he missed due to injury was when he was at Brighton. So it
Oh,
does
really?
really tell
Wow.
you, yeah, it really does
Okay.
tell you how consistent he's been as a feature for us since he joined. It's been brilliant, and I'm pretty sure as well. I did see that every time Trossard scores for Arsenal, we win.
I think
I
that's
think it's been
Martinelli.
no, it's Trossard.
I mean, it's
It's
Martinelli as
Trossard.
well.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
I think it's
Wow.
38
Okay.
games. 38 games that Trossard has scored in. Arsenal have won. So
Wow. Okay.
he's super important. He scores clutch goals. You can think of many clutch goals he scored. Liverpool at home a few seasons ago, Bayern, Spurs, Fulham this season. Obviously, he got a goal and assist this season against Bayern. Oh, I was actually thinking of the last Bayern game that he got a goal in.
Yeah.
So he's been super consistent. I mean, City in the Community Shield.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's been many games where you think something is going to go wrong, and then Trossard just pops up with a goal or an assist. He is super clutch, and we did sort of break him down a few pods back with
Yeah.
Marino.
Yeah.
But even Marino, Marino's got 27 goals and assists in 2025,
Wow. Including for Spain?
including for Spain. But
Wow.
you'll struggle to find
For a
15,
midfielder.
15 strikers
Yeah,
who have a
true.
better
Yeah.
who have a better like goal and assist ratio than he does. So yeah, and he's not like necessarily a starter for Arsenal, right? Is he? No,
Yeah,
not really. So
no,
yeah, really, really, and I guess going back to Trossard, yeah, disappointing that he went down. Will he be available? Going by his history, probably, but
probably.
you just never know. You just never know. But at the same time, like I'm not worried. Like we
Yeah,
have so many other options. Like I see us winning the game in a different way anyway. Like even if Trossard was fit, I probably would have gone in a different
yeah,
direction. So yeah, it's definitely upsetting, but you know, you just got to deal with it. And I think something that me as an Arsenal fan for sure used last season particularly, but also in previous seasons when Saliba and Tomiyasu went down in 2022, and obviously last year was hectic when it came to injuries. This year we haven't used it as an excuse. It's
yeah.
not. We've had loads of injuries. You think of even for the Bayern game, right? Bayern Munich, one of the best teams in Europe. We were without our captain Odegaard, our three strikers in Havertz, Gyökeres, and Jesus.
Jason. Yeah,
And who else were we without for that game? And Gabriel, our best defender.
Gabriel. Yeah,
So, and we won. So that just tells me that this squad is in a place now where we can compete on all levels, and it almost doesn't matter what happens to us, apart from if a certain midfielder got injured, which I'm sure we're going to talk about
yeah,
later on in the pod because just a special performance from him.
yeah. Incredible. We'll get on to that. But obviously after that, a few minutes later, half time, not our greatest half. I was honestly lacking a bit of confidence from that first half. But do you reckon this season it's felt like, especially in previous seasons, we have a poor first half and then we come out and kind of just do the same thing again. But this
Yeah,
season, it feels like I don't know what Arteta is saying to them in in the change rooms at halftime, but there's been a lot of games where not great for first half and then second half just completely changed the game. I don't know what
yeah.
Arteta's
Well,
doing, but what do you think was different in that second half tactically for us to just dominate the game from that position?
everything, the intensity, the quality, just everything was different, and it's a testament to how good the squad is. We say again, but also the ability to make changes within games, even just small tactical changes, whether it be Timber playing more inverted or just different players operating in different spaces. I know that Marino came short quite a lot and received the ball in those gaps, and he's taken his game to a sort of
Mm.
new level in the last few weeks or few months. But yeah, no, just everything was different. Everything was different, and I loved what I saw personally. I thought Zubimendi and Rice just ran the game, totally ran the game, and yeah, we felt that a goal was coming even before the goal came. You know,
Yeah,
I felt confident, and even you sort of touched on it before. Like last season, there were so many games where we just didn't really see a change from one half to the
yeah,
other. The one that really rings true in my head is the Bayern away game last year, and when we got
yeah.
knocked out in Champions League. That was that last year. Was that 2 years ago?
I
Two
think it
years
was
ago.
the year
Sorry,
before. Yeah, yeah,
you're right. You're right. 2 years ago. Um, and yeah, after Kimmich scored the header, we sort of just didn't do anything, and it
yeah,
was just it was a nothing performance. Now we don't do that. We've got too many characters in the team that don't let that happen, and I think finally we're starting to see that Arteta's passion and message of just never say die attitude is really rubbing off on all the players, and none of them are allowing it to happen, which is it's just great to see.
yeah. It's fantastic to see, and obviously, even all the players on the bench are all ready to come and change the game, and that's something I want to get onto next because uh, to be honest, you said you were confident that the goal was coming. I was probably a little less confident. I thought a lot of our best moments were off the left. I thought that's where we're going to get most chances because Saka was getting tripled up on.
Yeah,
Saka had a tough game, but it's hard to blame him when he's being triple marked. And Timber tried his best to support him, but it was just very difficult. So I thought if we were going to get a goal, we needed something off the left. I just don't think that. I mean, I know he's still so young, but I don't think Miles did enough in that game for me. I was saying as soon as Calafiori comes on, something's going to happen. I just had a
yeah,
feeling, and obviously he came on, and then obviously Madueke came on for Trossard earlier, and then that link up, Calafiori, beautiful cross to Madueke with his first Arsenal goal. Credit to him, and a huge, probably one of the biggest goals of the season as well. It was just incredible. It was so good to see that the substitutes changing the game like that. how did you feel when that goal went in? Because for me, it was an amazing moment.
Well, I thought that the combination, it was actually Calafiori and Eze out on that left hand side, which is
Yeah,
sort of what I've
true.
been calling
Yeah,
for a long time. But Calafiori has sort of become that master of the inside fullback centre back run.
yeah,
It's sort of the same or similar run that Xhaka used to do when Xhaka was
yeah.
playing for Arsenal.
It's half spaces.
Um,
Yeah,
that those half space runs, yeah, and those half space crosses. And Eze sort of found himself slightly wider, and Saul was in front of him, played the ball into Calafiori, and Calafiori with a beautiful cross, genuinely just struck the ball so cleanly. And Noni was there on his stronger left foot off the right hand side, which I listen. He can play off the left or off the right. I personally prefer him off the right. I just think the
same.
angles suit
Yeah,
him more. But obviously, he's not getting in over Saka, so he can do both. He can do
yeah,
both, and he can do both to a good standard. I just think he's more potent on that right hand side.
yeah,
But yeah, his first goal for Arsenal as well for Madueke, which is a big moment for him because I feel like he was playing very well in the early parts of the season before his injury,
yeah.
without really getting the numbers to show for it even. So yeah, then he got his injury, and now he's come back and he scored his first goal right before the Chelsea game.
Yeah. It's like the
Perfect,
perfect narrative.
perfect.
Again, we are talking about narratives last week, but like Trossard goes down and then Madueke has to step up. And of course, the next game is against his old club where, obviously London rivals. So I don't know what his reception will be like there. Probably not a
Not
positive one,
not
I can
very good.
imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, I thought he was brilliant. I agree. I do prefer him off the right as well. I just prefer wingers that cut in for me personally. Obviously, Saka can play on the left. That's where he started for Arsenal. Obviously, as a left back, left wing, and then obviously moved over to the right. So I feel like for me, sort of jumping ahead a little bit, but if Madueke does start that game, I would not be against them just swapping every 10 or so minutes, just to give their fullbacks a bit of a problem. Obviously, they've got quality fullbacks. We'll get into that, but yeah, just on the rest of the Bayern game, obviously Martinelli came on and that ball from Eze, but I mean, what was what was Neuer doing? Just in no man's land, man. Rare for
listen,
him,
we
he's a
we
quality keeper, but
we,
it was
we all
brilliant.
know that goalkeepers are mental.
Yeah,
Pretty much. And he's no exception. He's a sweeper keeper by trade. He sort of created that position and made it his own, really, in the world stage. And yeah, what a top goalkeeper. I thought even was it before? I'm trying to think what moment it was. Rice sort of stormed his way through, and I thought Neuer made a great save with his feet. Do you know
I'm
what I'm
trying.
referring to? Yeah, like Rice sort of drove his way through into the Bayern
Oh,
box
yeah,
and hit it with his
yeah,
left foot, and it was a great save from Neuer. So
yeah.
still, it is the ripe old age of 39. He's still
Wow,
popping
yeah,
out with some top saves. So yeah, I mean, a moment of madness from him. We capitalized. Game gone. I mean, the goals that Martinelli does score, they usually come, especially in the Champions League,
yeah. Can I
from
just say about
balls over the
Martinelli?
top, right?
Yeah, Martinelli. I can think of so many. That game against Lens, Man City, Athletic Bilbao, obviously Chelsea all those years ago, and then obviously today. It's
Yeah,
like it's
Man
becoming his
City as well.
yeah, Man City. It's becoming his trademark goal. Just
Yep.
running through like every time Martinelli is running through like that, and obviously Aston Villa as well when he had that open goal.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
He
yeah,
just scores it every time. Like it's kind of his trademark, and obviously beautiful ball from Eze as well. It was almost very similar ball to the Man City game when obviously keeper did better in that one, I guess, when he chipped Donnarumma. But similar ball from Eze. Eze, we were talking about him last week. It wasn't his greatest game, but for him to get that assist at the end, it just shows his quality again as that X factor sort of player. So really happy with that. 3-1. Obviously, we are now. I think Inter Milan lost to Atletico Madrid, so we are
yeah.
now, I think, the only undefeated team in the Champions League. Five
We
five
are
out of
indeed.
five, perfect record, 15 points. So that's brilliant to see. Our next game, I think, one more game before the end of the year is Club Brugge. So hopefully, should probably win that on paper. But yeah, beautiful win. Should we get into the
100%.
Chelsea game then?
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
We see Chelsea. Stamford Bridge. Correct me if I'm wrong. Last season was the one where Declan Rice scored that worldie from really far. Or was that the season
Yeah,
before? It
that
was the
might have
two
been the
two two
season
two draw.
before.
But we
I
usually
think,
do perform quite well at Stamford Bridge. The first thing that comes to my mind is that 4-2 win we had a few seasons ago where Nketiah scored a brace. But it's usually always seems to be a very entertaining game. So definitely looking forward to it. You said before a lot of narratives about Madueke. Obviously, big news recently that I read today is that Cole Palmer will be back for this game. So obviously, he's a quality player. Um, Obviously, as an Englishman yourself, how do you view Palmer?
Super talent. And yeah, for last year I think was 1-1 I think Martinelli scored.
Oh, right, yeah,
Um, yeah, I think Pedro Neto scored for them.
yep,
I think like a long sort of a long range goal from outside the box. But yeah, Cole Palmer, top talent, serious X factor, ridiculous ability. Um, Still probably wouldn't start for my England 11 just for the balance. I think we've
yep.
got so much talent, and that's nothing against Cole Palmer. Like even not even Phil Foden would start for my England 11, or Morgan Rogers, who's obviously extremely good as well. But yeah, no, he's seriously good on his day. But he doesn't usually play very well against Arsenal. I don't want to
Yeah.
jinx anything here, but
Yeah.
we usually have the quality to sort of shut him out. Obviously, he's been out a long time, so I'm not sure if he'll come straight back into the 11. Um, but yeah, it's obviously another threat to worry about. It's another threat to worry about, and that's on top of other threats that they have, of which they have in abundance. I think this Chelsea squad is a seriously good squad. It really is, and
Yeah.
and that's without, I don't know, like Quenda coming in from Lisbon next year, who they already agreed. He's like a 17, 18-year-old wonder kid as well. Um, and yeah, they've got a lot of quality. I mean, sorry, I can't even get my words out. The list is sort of endless. It's ridiculous how many
Yeah.
forward attacking talents they've got. You can list literally 15 players.
Mudryk.
Um, Say that again.
Mudryk.
Mudryk, yeah, maybe not so much, but yeah, they've got Delap and João Pedro as their
Yeah.
strikers. They've got Pedro Neto. They've got Garnacho. They've got um, Estevao,
Esteval, yeah, quality.
who's a seriously good player. I mean, it wouldn't shock me if he got the start tomorrow morning because of his great performance against Barcelona. Who else do they have? It's ridiculous how many players they've got.
Yeah, it seems like in recent years they've just only
Gittins,
signed wingers. Yeah, another name. I don't even know is the names off the top of my head. That guy that came from Leipzig. I don't know if he's still there, but seems to always be injured. But obviously they just got quality all over the pitch. Their fullbacks are very strong as well. Obviously, Reece James, he might not even play right back, but I guess we'll see. Cucurella as well, which I see in the show notes here that in brackets George has put hate him. Can you elaborate on that?
absolutely hate
Is
him.
that for the Euros?
No, no, honestly, it's not.
Okay.
There are some players that you just hate and
Yeah.
you don't really
Yeah.
know why, and he's
Nah.
just one of them. I
Yeah.
just hate him. I hate his hair. I hate everything about him. I hate him. He just, you know what it is. I feel like, and it is a lot of like the Spanish lads. They do go down very easily and then complain a lot.
Yeah.
And he's just one of them. He's a diver, and he's just a bit of a shithouse, and I hate him. I hate him.
Yeah.
He's one of them players that you'd love him if he played for your team,
Yeah. Exactly
but you
right.
hate to play against him. And
Yep.
I just hate him. I can't stand him. I know, and you can quote me on this after the game. He will foul Saka numerous times, and the foul won't be given a lot.
I guess
It's
we'll have
that it's
to.
that sort of thing.
Yeah, I can
He'll
definitely
kick
see that happening.
Saka. He'll step on Saka's toes. He does it every single week, and every single game we
Yeah.
have against him, and I just hate him.
Yeah.
Hate him to
Oh,
the core.
it's definitely going to be such a good matchup. Obviously, Saka against Cucurella.
Yeah,
I'm hoping Saka isn't as blocked out as he was against Bayern Munich. I feel like if we see a firing Saka against Chelsea, it can be really exciting. And obviously, I mentioned before, I don't know if Arteta would do it, but I'd love to see that swapping over. I feel like it could work. Um, should we do? Oh, just something we forgot to mention as well about the Bayern game is obviously Odegaard was back. I feel like we have to talk about that because, sorry guys, we forgot to talk about that, but that's quality. That's so good coming into this game. Obviously, it could
yeah,
change things for our 11. Should we do our Should we do our 11? Because I want to
yeah.
ask
Why
if you
not?
want to start Odegaard or not. I think it's a big call, but I think we should
Yeah,
do it. All right,
let's do it. Let's do it.
all right. For me, I would go Raya, Timber, Saliba, Hincapié, Calafiori. In the midfield, I'd go Zubimendi, Rice, and then I'm actually going to start Odegaard as the 10. Off the left, I know I was talking about Madueke, but I'm going to have to go down your sort of path. I would actually start Eze there. I think he's more of a similar player to Trossard in that position than a Madueke would be. A Madueke is more obviously left-footed. It's going to be a different sort of profile, but Yeah, so I'd probably start. I bring on Madueke 100% later in the game to just kill that defense. Hopefully, and just if we need someone to just run at them, the Madueke is that sort of player. Obviously, Martinelli as well. Off the right, Saka, and then up front again. So many fitness issues. I'm hearing that Gyökeres and Havertz and maybe even Jesus are all doing a late fitness test, but I can't see any of them starting though. To be honest, I think if any of them were going to start, it would be Gyökeres. I think if Gyökeres is fit, but then again, I'm going to go with Marino because I think he's been really good the past few games. So I'm gonna stick with him there. What about you?
This is the first time I think that we've actually had exactly the same
Oh
11.
wow, okay,
And what I will say is the way that I see it being, I guess, performed on the day is like a three-box three. And what I mean by that is when we build up, it will be Hincapié as a left centre back, with Saliba as a central centre back, and Timber as the right centre back.
yep,
And then a double pivot in front of Zubimendi and Rice. Obviously, Rice will have license to sort of travel when he needs to. And in front of those two, it will be an Odegaard and a Calafiori. So Calafiori will sort of play that inside.
free roam
No,
sort of.
I'm lying. I'm lying. Sorry. Eze will play
Eze,
that inside left
yeah,
left role, and then the front three will be a Calafiori who will play high and wide on that left hand side. Marino as that number 9, who again can also come deep if he needs to, and Saka on the right. That's
yeah,
how I see it being played. We'll have a graphic up on screen for you so I can you guys can visualize that as well. Um, I think that's how I see us going forward. Obviously, Marino at some point will come out for one of the three strikers.
yep.
You take your pick, depending on the game, I'm guessing. Um, but yeah, that's how I see it going forward. The reason being, I just think if Odegaard is playing on that in that right half space, I want to see Eze playing in that left half space where
Yeah,
he's more natural. And it'll be beautiful to see because obviously Odegaard has that ability to dictate the pace of the game, and obviously when we press, dictate the press. But Eze's ability to sort of beat a man and commit players in a different way to Odegaard, I think they can sort of complement each other really, really well. Um, so, so I'm really excited about the
same.
prospect of Odegaard being back. Obviously, he only got 10 minutes, but 10 minutes in the bank is definitely better than none. And
Yep.
obviously, he's had a few weeks of training now. Out of our strikers, who do you think will be in the squad? I know that Jesus did a sort of behind closed doors
Yep.
friendly, and I think Ethan Wanyeri also
Yep.
participated in that game because he wanted game time. But I don't think that Jesus will make the squad just yet. I think Gyökeres has trained. I've seen a few pictures in like the back of someone's head in a
Yeah.
bib. It looked like Gyökeres. So it wouldn't shock me if Gyökeres is back and about in the squad. I think Havertz probably again still too early. I don't know.
Yeah.
But really exciting, mate. What a game that it could potentially be. Do you know what I mean? It's a very, very exciting prospect of playing Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. You know, Sunday afternoon in the UK. Pressure is on. Obviously, City won yesterday. So if we can beat them, we're 9 points clear.
I believe so. Yeah, I think we're on 29 points and they're on 23. So at least 9 points above Chelsea, and I think maybe 7 against Man City. So either way, we're gonna have a buffer lead. It's just so important that we win this game in particular. But yeah, just on what you were asking me before, I think out of the three strikers, the one I think is most likely to, or who I'd want to come in if they're all fit, is probably Gyökeres, just simply off. He's played the most amount of minutes this season. Havertz, what he played like what 20 minutes, maybe or 40 minutes, maybe 60. And Jesus obviously has played nothing, so probably Gyökeres
Yeah.
for me. I have to see if he's fit, but yeah, it's going to be a great game either way. But it's the reason why it's going to be a great game is because the amount of just matchups there are in this Arsenal v Chelsea team. I mean, there's so many. We'll break them all down, but we got Reece James versus Timber. We got Caicedo, Rice, Cucurella, and Calafiori. Those are probably the main ones that I can think of. I'm sure Chelsea fans will probably argue for Esteval, Saka, but I'm not going to get into that because that's a ridiculous debate. But yeah, Reece James versus Timber. What do you reckon? Because for me, I think they're they're both so good on their day. Obviously, Reece James has had so many fitness issues in the last few years. It feels like this is like the first season he's had like proper since maybe what 2020. So I mean, in a way, it's probably better for you to see that, obviously, for a World Cup year for England. For me, it doesn't really matter. But how do you compare those two?
Yeah, I mean, listen, they're both top top players. I think that I think that James probably has more ability than Timber, although it's close. But I think the best ability in football is availability.
Yeah,
And I think that's genuinely what it comes down to. And like maybe there's 0.5% difference in terms of like natural ability when it comes to crosses or whatever. That James is probably better than Timber. But like Timber's done his ACL and he's there playing 50
yep,
games last year.
yep,
So it's to me, it's not really a contest anymore, to be honest with you. And
yep.
and that's not to diminish how good Reece James is because he's going to be England's right back. Do you know what I mean? He's a top player and I really like him. And to be honest with you, I don't even think that is the correct matchup for this game because I actually think Reece James might play
Yeah,
alongside
true.
alongside Caicedo in midfield like he did against Spurs and Liverpool. So who really knows? I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to go with Timber on this one, but it's very close. It is very, very
Yeah.
close. And I really do admire Reece James, and I think he's a really top level footballer. So, really close. But for me, Timber takes it by maybe 0.25%. What
Fair
about you?
enough. I mean, it's so hard to see past my bias, but I think James probably is better at, sort of the final product, those crosses, and obviously
Yeah.
you can play in the midfield. Well, I mean, we've never seen Timber in the midfield. He probably could do a job there, but I think Reece James is probably like technically a better footballer, but I think defensively and just strength, I think Timber probably is the better out of the two. But again, he might not even play. Reece James might not even play right back. So I think who would come in? Maybe Gusto, I think, has probably been
Yeah,
the yeah.
Malo Gusto would come in. I don't know. It's interesting because obviously Palmer looks like he could be back, so maybe that might mean that I don't know Enzo drops back into a more I guess number 8 position and Palmer
Yeah.
comes in as a 10 or Palmer plays out wide. You just don't know.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, what about Caicedo and Rice?
This is probably the biggest one that people are talking about all on social media. They're just two different players. It's so hard to compare them, to be honest. I think they're better in different ways. Like Caicedo as a 6 is better, Rice as an 8 is better. Really, that's really what it comes down to for me personally. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I think Caicedo is the best tackler in the world. I think I think he's made the most tackles in the Premier League so far, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, he's a world class player, and there's no secret. I wanted him when
Yeah,
he was up for grabs. I thought he was just ridiculous. Um, but Deck is different, and the reason I say that is because he's not just a 6. Like he
yeah,
plays as a
exactly.
6. He plays as a 6 at an international level for the country who is probably the favourites or one of them to win the World Cup. So he's a top level number 6. But he's taken his game to a whole new stratosphere under Arteta. And for all these, I don't know, fans of opposition fans out there and media, I don't know what they call themselves these days, but some of them call themselves pundits. I don't necessarily believe they are, but talking about how Arteta doesn't really improve players and all that, it's just a load of rubbish, mate.
Yeah,
Declan Rice has improved tenfold since he's come to Arsenal.
yeah,
He was already a 100 million pound level footballer, so he was already a top level player. But he's probably the best midfielder in the world at the moment. It's hard. I mean,
yeah,
obviously, there's the Pedri's out there, and there are some seriously, seriously good players out there. But no one has the influence like
yeah.
Deck has. He can
I
do
actually,
everything.
I actually read a stat the other day, which I don't know if this will shock you or not, but I think Declan Rice played about 160 something games for, I don't know if this is just Premier League or whatever, but 160 some odd games for West Ham, 19 goal contributions. He's played half the games for Arsenal and 39 goal contributions. He's almost
Yeah,
averaging about a goal or assist every just shy of 2 games, really, which is just
yeah.
incredible for his position. I think he's probably our best player in our squad. Is that a big call?
Oh,
I don't
I mean,
know.
he's definitely up. He's definitely
Definitely
up
up there at
there.
least.
Definitely
Yeah.
up there. I here's what I would say. I wouldn't say he's the best player because you can argue like I don't know Gabriel or
Yeah.
Saliba or
But I mean, in terms of like
Saka.
all aspects of the game, because obviously Gabriel, I know he scores the corner goals, but like defender, but as a midfield, he's just doing everything. So for me,
He's the most he's the
yeah,
most important player for us
important, yeah,
because if we lost him, we wouldn't be able to replace him with
yeah,
the same amount of productivity. Whereas you could say in most other areas, if we lost, say, Saka, Madueke could come in, and he's a similar profile to Saka.
yeah,
Gabriel gets injured, and obviously we have Hincapié and Mosquera who can come in, or Calafiori can play as a left centre back. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, he is the most unique player in our squad because
yeah,
we don't have a replacement of anyone near the same quality as him. And it's not just what he does as a footballer off the pitch. He's been a very like
yeah.
instrumental role model for Max Dowman. I know there's been things said about that, and he's a leader and he embodies what it means to be a professional footballer. I think he carries himself very well. And at the end of it, I also think he'd be quite funny on a night out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he just seems like a great guy. Yeah,
He seems like if he went to a private school, he'd be the head boy. You know what I mean? He's just good at
yeah,
everything. He's
yeah,
probably really smart. He's one of those types. He's just like such an
yeah,
alpha in the way he carries himself. And
yeah,
yeah, you can't really compare the two. Is the point we're trying
yeah,
to make? You can't compare Caicedo. It's like comparing apples with oranges. They're both fruits, but they're not really the same fruit. So
yeah.
both top players. I think Caicedo over Zubamendi at the moment. I think Caicedo is the best six in the world at the moment, but no one's Declan Rice, and I think
Yeah.
he'll show it again. Like he's taken his game to a whole new level, as we've said previously. But it wouldn't shock me if he scored or assisted tomorrow morning. It just wouldn't shock me at all.
Of
Like
course not.
he's
Yeah.
just that guy. I mean, one moment from the Bayern game that we didn't talk about was he sort of lost the ball himself. And he's traveling back, sprinting after Harry Kane, and sort of slides and gets the ball
Yeah.
back, and then gets the crowd going. It's just like this guy is Arsenal, and I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. So so yeah, I think that would be my thoughts on that matchup. And then obviously Cucurella and Calafiori. I mean, Calafiori is a maverick in the way he plays football. He's not really a left back. Is he a centre back? Who knows? Is he a left winger?
Is he a
Who knows?
striker?
Who knows, man? Who literally knows? He does it all, but he also does none. What a player! Um, he must be such a pleasure to coach because you can tell that he retains information so quickly and he just absorbs it. We all forget that this guy is what 23, 24,
Yeah. It's very
still young,
impressive.
man.
Yeah.
He might
Yeah.
even be younger than that. It might be 22,
He might be.
So
Yeah.
so so he's a top player, but I think Cucurella along with Nuno Mendes are the best two left backs in the world.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. I hate to say it because I bloody hate the guy, but yeah, he's serious. He's
It could be a
serious. So
different
he
conversation by the end of the season as well, of course.
maybe, but I think unfortunately the mainstream media usually dictate who's better on
Yeah.
who's won what, you know.
Yeah.
So we need to win first before we can start sort of demanding that our players are above others who win things. So
I
listen, it is
actually
what it
think
is.
that ties in quite well. We actually had a comment on our last Spotify episode, so shout out to Logan Clayton. I'm going to ask you the question, George, because I don't know if you've seen the question yet, but he said,
No.
if Arsenal go on to win the Premier League, will Timber go down as Arsenal's best ever right back?
Yes. Yeah,
Fair enough.
I do think so. I think for me, in terms of his ability, again, we've spoken about this previously, but I didn't see much of Laurent. I know he was a top
Yeah.
player, and uh, everyone who was sort of old enough to live through that generation knows how good Laurent was, and he's probably underrated in terms of
Yeah.
the better left back, the better right backs that the Premier League has seen. But Timber already ability wise is better in my opinion. I just think he's just got more to his game. He can
Yeah.
play as a third centre back on the right hand side. He can play as a left back. He can play as central centre back. He can play as a wing back. He can probably step into midfield. You know what I mean? He's just got
Yeah.
everything. And I think the way that the fullback position has changed since then has meant that it's almost the most important position on a football pitch at the moment
Yeah.
because
I
that's where
mean,
you create your overloads. Whereas
yeah.
like in previous years, Gary Neville would always go back and say how fullbacks are just failed centre backs.
Yeah.
So like
Failed
the
wingers, isn't it?
importance or failed wingers. I mean,
Yeah.
the importance of that position has changed a lot. Is the point
Yeah.
I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with that. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, for me, honestly, I don't know too much about Lorraine. Obviously, it's before my time, but I just think in general that like right backs, left backs, full backs, so have just developed so much, and they're so much more important in the modern game that obviously, I mean, Timber's just in the headlines like every week is probably one of our most important players, and I don't think maybe Loren was that for the Invincibles. Obviously, you've got Henri, Bergkamp, Perez, like all these exceptional world class players, and Lorraine isn't really the one that stands out as one of the first names that you think of. But in this current Arsenal team, you probably would list Timber in our most maybe top four most important players this season at least, or top four best players this season at least. So yeah, I think by the end of the season he's definitely in contention, if not probably is our best right back of all time. I wouldn't be against that. Um, but yeah, we will do our combined 11, I should say, but we're going to do it on the TikTok. So stay tuned for that.
Go
You'll
follow the
see,
TikTok, please.
yes, it's just G'Day Gooners. You'll find it on TikTok. I think we should just touch on Esteval quickly because this guy, he's only like 18, isn't he? 19 maybe? He's quite
Yeah.
young and he stepped into this Chelsea team and he's done phenomenal. I mean, he's going to be up against well, probably Calafiore tomorrow, so I'm still pretty confident we could probably shut him out. But quality player, what do you reckon?
Really, really good. He's got the X factor. That is Esteval. I mean, he's very, very skillful. His balance is good. He's obviously left-footed, playing on the right-hand side. Yeah, he's just going to go from strength to strength for them. And obviously, their Chelsea's policy of only buying players under the age of 25. Like, obviously, I think that's ridiculous policy. But
Yep,
they've got now a squad who are going to stay together for a while, sort of maybe where we were
a few
a few
seasons ago,
years
yeah,
back,
yep,
and yeah, that they're very very strong. And I actually said I've got a group chat with some of the boys that I used to play FIFA with, pro clubs with, and there's a few Chelsea fans amongst that group. And I actually said, give Maresca time because he came from the Pep schooling of
yep,
coaching. And I always think that anyone who's come from that school is going to be a good coach. Pep wouldn't hire you if you're not a
yep,
top level coach. So yeah, it's one of those things where obviously Todd Bowley came into Chelsea and spent an obscene amount of money in a short space of time, put all these players on massive contracts, and sort of the manager was just like, okay, what do I do with 50 players? You
yeah,
know, so it was going to take a while for him to sort of trim down the squad to what he needs and sort of bring in the talent that he needs. And it looks like he's starting to do that, you know. I still
yep.
think a few signings here and there are a bit strange, you
It
know,
is pretty
Garnacho coming
ridiculous.
in and
Yeah, that was
but
a weird. Yeah,
what Chelsea do that we definitely do not do is they sell very well.
yeah, sure.
The amount of money that they've accrued over the last couple of years for players that we haven't even seen really play for Chelsea, Renato Vega being one of them that comes to my head. I think they got like nearly was it 40 million pounds for him. I just you can't. It's
Obviously,
ridiculous.
we've contributed to that as well. Obviously, probably better quality players, but Madueke, Havertz,
Havertz, Jorginho,
Jorginho.
David
There's
Luiz.
there's a
Yeah, it goes
lot.
back a
There's a
long
lot.
time. There's a whole
Petr
history.
yeah,
There's a whole history of Arsenal buying Chelsea players. But that's Willian, obviously. Let's maybe not talk about that one so much. But because they're good players, you know.
yeah,
It's another thing with the Madueke one is when we signed Madueke, the amount of abuse that
yeah.
this guy was receiving, which is so
Unfair. Yeah,
unfair. And not just that, like Chelsea fans were really, really happy that they got rid of him for that much. But that's just a going rate for
yeah.
England international
It's
or
the English
international
English
wingers.
tax. Yeah,
English tax, but also Premier League proven
yeah,
player. He's what, 23? Do you know what I mean? He was always going to cost that much money.
yeah,
Like they paid 65 for Gittins, who hasn't played in the Premier League. So
yeah.
I don't know. They probably think they've got the better end of the deal because obviously Esteval's come in and is doing really, really, really well, and fair play to them. I hope he does well, but obviously not well enough to win Chelsea anything. But I'm really happy with Madueke. That piece of business for me is probably the best business we've done with Chelsea in the last maybe 5-6 years. I guess Jorginho is probably quite a good piece of business when you look at
Havertz as well.
numbers. Havertz, again, I think the player Havertz is a really good player and he's helped us a lot. But I think
Yeah,
the fee involved at the time and the wages, I think the
yeah,
wages more than the fee actually. I
yeah,
think it's on something like 295 a week.
yeah.
Uh, and I just don't think he's worth that amount of money. And I think
Fair enough.
what that teaches you is, you know, if you're a world class player now wanting to come to Arsenal and you know Havertz is on that much money, you can ask for more. and that
Yeah.
puts our wage structure in a bit of a sticky situation. But that being said, he's been very, very good since he's come in for us. So yeah, yeah. I guess we've spoken about quite a lot today. We got
Yeah.
through quite a hefty amount of content, which is great. Uh, let's go on to score
Let's
predictions.
do it. I'm keen.
Um, I'm going to let you go first. What did we both predict for the Bayern game? Do you remember?
I think I said 2-1. I think you might have called for a draw, I think.
No, I definitely called for an Arsenal win. I think I went 2-0 though. So
Okay. I think I
I
went
got
2-1,
the
yeah.
yeah, I got the what's it called, right? The difference between the
Oh yeah.
scores in terms
Yeah.
of 2 goals, but I didn't get the right score, and neither did you. But we both went for Arsenal win, so that's 1 point on the
Yeah.
board for both of us. What do you reckon the score is going to be tomorrow morning?
2-0 Arsenal.
2-0 Arsenal, away at
Yep.
Stamford Bridge. Love
Yep.
to see it.
Confident.
I'm gonna go with 3-0.
Wow. That's a big
I'm
call.
really,
Are you
yeah,
only
I'm feeling
saying that
super
because I
confident.
took the 2-0 or do you actually think it's gonna be
It's
3?
a good question, actually. I don't know. I've just got a weird feeling. Sometimes I have these
Yep.
weird psychic moments, and I just think it's going to be 3-0 Arsenal, and we're going to
Yeah.
go there and absolutely destroy them and show our dominance. So yeah, that's a wrap, I reckon. What do you reckon?
Yeah, we can
Any
wrap it up
final
there.
comments there, Cal?
I guess we'll have to wait for the game. We'll come back after the game and make our comments to see what happens, I guess. Definitely so super keen for it. Terrible time for the game, but I feel like it doesn't matter when it's a game of this magnitude, this size, this importance. So definitely, definitely looking forward to it. And I think that's probably all we have time for today. So I just want to thank you guys for watching the app as always. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Obviously, follow us on the TikTok and short form, Instagram as well, YouTube, and post the shorts on there as well. We're going to do our combined 11s, our lineups, stuff like that before the game. So definitely keen. And yeah, hope you have a good day, Gooners.